Okay, good day everyone. So today we'll be discussing about the feed processing and manufacturing. So this is the last topic for the final term. So I want you to get your ball pen and prepare your notebook to write down everything that is within this discussion. Okay, so feed processing. When you say feed processing, so it is a process, right? But feed processing actually is more than just a process. It is actually a series of process or mini processes. So it's a sequence of steps or processes that feed or raw feed ingredients go through to produce a safe, uniform, and nutritionally balanced feed. So it is of course very vital to do the processing of feeds properly because it ensures good nutrient availability, prevents contamination, enhances feed efficiency, and also uh, supports the animal performance. Okay, so the feed processing, of course, involves a flow because, as it said from the definition, it involves a sequence of steps. So when we patch it up all together, we'll be discovering a flow. So that being said, the feed processing flow involves from the manufacturing of feeds from available feed ingredients to essentially entails a process it essentially involves the process of formulation of feeds, the acceptance of the available feed ingredients, the size reduction of raw materials, the weighing and proportioning or the batching, no? And most importantly, the mixing of various ingredients as well as the bagging. So typically, the feed processing flow revolves from the arrival of the raw materials to the finished feeds ready for animal consumption. So here are the steps. So step one is the feed ingredient reception and inspection. Step two is the raw material storage and handling. Step three is the preparation of feedstuff. Step four is the weighing and batching or proportioning. Step 6 is the mixing of feeds. And last is the step 6 or the bagging of the feeds. So to discuss step 1 or the feed ingredient reception and inspection, it involves the arrival of the feed ingredient to the feed milling company and it usually involves inspections. So there is what we call the quality control within the entrance of the feed ingredients. So made, these are the measures being made to um, during the arrival of the feedstuffs or when once they are being received. So these are necessary to ensure good quality of the finished products. So once the feeds are actually received, they are actually not yet quite inside the feed milling factory. No? So what that means is that during sa entrance pa lang, during the receivance of the feed ingredients, no, they have to pass a quality control. And of course, the outcome of that is pass or fail. So if na-fail ang katong feedstuff nga ni-arrive because it did not meet the good quality standards of the feed milling company, that means na dili siya tuluyan na ma-receive. So, ibalik siya dito sa kung asa siya gikan ang feed ingredient. Okay? So, although, kung inaana gani ang hitabo, that is to make sure no nga walay mga kababalaghang mahitabo, no? Right? Like walay adulterants apil ang feed ingredient nga naitabo na ni arrive, no? Nya wala poy kanang insects, walay pest infestation nga naa dito sulod sa dump truck like this one. And also wala po'y foreign objects or even the presence of molds. So if wala ning tanan and okay pod si moisture content, then that means na ang feed ingredient nga ni arrive is kanang are able to proceed sa step 2. Those na najugsak, no? Nga taas ang moisture content, na ay presence of molds, na ay adulterants apil ang ilahang feed stuff nga i-deliver or na ay mga bukbok inside that truck, that means it is bound to be returned sa sender. So kato mga kapasar, they are transmitted to step 2 or the raw material storage and handling. So, si raw material storage and handling, this is where after the arrival of feeds nga nakapasar sa quality control measure are being stored and kept under the conditions under the dry conditions wherein the area is free from pest, walay mga buslot-buslot ang surroundings, ang atop walay buslot, so if naamoy ulan man or unsa ba, moisture cannot penetrate. And ang katamasudlanan for individual feed materials are clean and they are properly locked or unsa ba, nana. So, muna itsura sa feed stuff storage or raw material storage. Okay, for next step is the preparation of feedstuff. So, mani siya if gamito na tong mga raw ingredients nga nasa raw ingredients storage, no? So, they are being prepared now for the mixing later on. So, of course, in preparing the feedstuffs, each ingredients need to be reduced in size. So, ibig sabihin, need sila pagamyon. And why is that? You might ask. So, that is to first the amount of undigested grains passing through the animal is reduced. So, increase sila sa digestibility sa per ingredient. Next is the smaller the size, it increases actually the palatability of feed. So, ibig sabihin, kung mas gamay do ang size sa particle size sa feed, ibig sabihin, mas mugawas ang taste or ang lasa sa feed. So, mas ganahan si animal mo kaon ani nga feed or sa imong gi-create or gi-formulate nga feed because of its size and sa imong choice of feed ingredients na gigamit. Next is, if kung mas gamay ang size sa feed materials, of course, the wastage is reduced. Para mabawasan tong sayang mga excess waste. So next is more advantageous mixing and balancing of rations is achieved. And lastly, the digestibility of feedstuff is increased by allowing the digestive juices to act more readily. Because the more na mas gamay ang particle sa feed ingredient or sa feedstuff na inyong gi-create or gi-prepare, that means tong enzyme sulod sa tiyan sa hayop, they're able to work on that small particle easily compared kung mas dako ang particle na ginatrabaho. Okay, for the next step, after na ma-prepare si feedstuff, we'll now proceed to the step 4 or the weighing and batching. So for the weighing and batching, the various feed materials are then they are weighed or they are being proportioned. So when you say proportion, so ginasort, no? Ang kani siya kadaghan nga tahop, dali ni siya. Ang kani nga daghan nga tahop, ina ni siya. So murag gina-portion out to create different feed types. So for example, ang kani nga mga tahop nga gi-portion diri sa left side is used to create booster feeds. Nya ang kani nga tahop nga nasa right side, these are used to create what? Starter feed. So mo inana. So of course, we need to practice proper batching because it prevents nutrient imbalance, overconsumption of minerals, and medication, and also to prevent the wastage of expensive supplements. So, itong mga antibiotics sa giad. So, we need to do proper batching para walay masayang na ingredients. Because sayang na ingredients would mean would cost us economically, if that makes sense. So, yun, ani. So, example na lang, ang iyang giveaway dali ka sa picture is let's say, skimmed milk. So, gi-portion out niya ni. Kari siya, I don't know, siguro isa ka kilo ni. Tapos, yan siyang i-portion later on. Kay, kani siya is intended for the use of, for the formulation of a different feeds. Ana. So, after na siya ma-weigh and ma-batch, right, sa feed ingredients, kaganiha. Let's now proceed sa mixing, sa step 5. So, mixing involves materials that are mixed at a specific length of time. So this is done to create a uniform dispersion of the ingredients. So for reference, no, this is actually an industrial mixer. So dapat pag hinahinay gyud ani because this is hazard prone. Mamali lang kag adto dira mahulog na ka dira final destination. So this is actually dako kay ni siya na nga machine. This is a commercial industrial mixer. So, kani siya na mixer, it can create hundreds and hundreds of sacks, no? Makaya niya maghimog feeds na hundreds or um, tens of hundreds of sacks. Basta yun, ani kadako nga machine. Next is, of course, in the mixing of feeds, there should be no? Guides. So first is, you have to consider the amount of feed to mix because it is dependent to the number of animals to be fed. If that makes sense. So dapat kung maghimo kag feeds or magmix kag feeds, it should correlate to the number of animals na imuhang pakaunan or pakaunon. So how will you do that? So first, you multiply the amount of each feed in the ratio or in the ration by the number of animals to be fed. Yes. And then you multiply the answers for both by the number of days feeding or the number of days to be fed. Okay? That makes sense. So, for example, um, ang ingredients na kailangan is tahop, copramil, yun ana. So, you have to multiply ang tahop to the number of animals to be fed, then multiply those answers to the number of days, kung pila ka days nimo siya balak pakaunon. So that's how you will do it. So after which, you have to learn the different mixing procedures. So we have two actually. First is the manual mixing. So from the word manual, mano-mano. So you use shovel to mix the feeds that is under or on the concrete floor. Or kung dili naman concrete floor, na baka sa homemade box. So aside from the manual mixing, we also have the mechanical mixing or katong mga makita sa mga industrial feed mills. Kato sila. Or if not that, kung medyo backyard ang base, no? So, you can use homemade na mixer. Also, in mixing dry ingredients with wet ingredients, how will you do it? So, normally, when you add molasses or other liquids to the feed mix, you usually just add it by spraying. So, I know ang molasses is medyo lapot, but that's the thing. Actually, ginasagwalan pa siya water, si molasses, and then you shake para dili siya syrup o viscosity ba. So, ginaspray siya habang ginamix or while or during ginamix ang katong feeds, dry ingredients, right? And then you spray it molasses or kung dili molasses, other liquids. Or if not during mixing, it can be added during the pelleting process. So, tong paghimog pellets, pwede mag-add og liquid such as katong oil. So, here are some of the pictures of the feed mixers. So, mo ning akong ingon kaganiha tong homemade mixer. Isa medyo gamay lang iyang mahimo diri na feeds, but it makes sense if backyard farming lang ka. Next is ang commercial batch mixer, the vertical continuous mixer and the horizontal continuous mixer. So, karin sa commercial batch mixer, vertical and horizontal continuous mixer, these are the feed mixers commonly used sa mga feed mills or mga commercial feed mills. So, before tayo proceed sa next step no, sa feed processing flow, you need to understand or you need to learn about the feed forms. So there are just three, or normally there's only three forms of feeds. First is the mash, next is crumble, and the third is pellets. So when you say mash, crumble, pellets, sa itsura ani nila. So mo ni itsura ani nilang tatlo. Si mash is medyo kuan siya, powdery, dusty, abog siya, gagmay, gagmay mga particles niya. Crumble is bigger yung particle. Makita ninyo nga na yung mga uh, coarse, mga dagko nga particle sizes. And then, compared sa mash, medyo dili siya abog. Right? Mo na si crumble. Then, ang last one, si pellets. Mo na siya ang distinct na uniform shapes. So, na either naka-cylinder or katong small chunks. So, karisi pellets, they are made from compressing mash with steam power. So, later on, ato na siyang mabalaan. Okay? So, sa feed forms, first is we have the mash. So, unsa ning mash? Mash is essentially all ingredients that are being ground and mixed into a loose powder-like form. So, powdery ang consistency or ang overall consistency ni mash. So, although makita ninyo nga na ay mga larger parts, but essentially, medyo uniform siya, no? But wala siya specific shape. Makita niyo na sa picture nga na ay mga yellow, may mga tahop, naapoy mga corn grits, naapoy na mga brown, I think naapon ni mga skim milk, copper meal, naapon ni mga protein sources like karang mga fish meal, yung ana. So, all of which makita ninyo sa mash. So, what are the advantages of mashing or making mash? So, first is it is easy to produce, no? Next is it is good for small scale farmers. Very good din siya sa mga backyard farmers because wala man ni kailangan kayong equipments. Yeah, that is the third advantage. And lastly, it works well for ruminants and swines and as well as the brooder chicks. Katong mga giyapang brooding na manok. So what are the disadvantages naman pod of mashing? So first is yung una ko ganiha, abog siya. Maskig na kasako, abog, dusty. Next is it has a lower palatability for poultry. And lastly, animals may sort ingredients if particle sizes varies. So, unsa meaning nga ning third na bullet? So, chickens, most especially, they have the tendency to select what they're eating. So, kung hatagan mo sila mash, most probably ilang paliyon to mga dagko lang, to mga dagko na parts. They don't care about sa mga powders na itong mga gagmatoy na no. Wala sa palabot mo itong mga powders is rich in fiber, rich in proteins. So, unsaan man ni siya pag-resolve karon, right? So, para ma-consume tanan sa atong manok ang kaning mash, you have to integrate what we call wet feeding, basa nga pagkaon, no? So, essentially, unsaon ni siya? So, kani si mash nyo karon, butangan lang niyo na siya tubig, and then you mix para tanang parts dara nga mash is nabasag water. And then, pag ingon ana na gani siya, pag medyo clumpy na iyang itsura, ibig sabihin ang clumpy, medyo daghan ng mga tibugol-tibugol, baka lang, pwede na rin siya ma-form into circle, sa ba nga shape, pasaon niya gamay, and then that's the time na pwede na siya ma-consume sa inyong manok nga dili sila makapili kung saan ingredient ilang kaunon or ituhikon. So that is the beauty of wet feeding. Because aside ato, uh, gina-supply pud og water ni wet feeding ang inyuhang manok, especially sa mga times na kanang init ang panahon niya. Ang inyong manok is dili kay ginom og tubig kay puros halhal lang sila. So that is some of the advantages of wet feeding. And these are the disadvantages of mashing. So next feed form we have the crumble. So this is the process of grinding pellets into coarse granular form. So basically, they may be used during the starter and growing stages of the animals. So as you can see sa pictures, no? So si crumble di ay gikan di siya sa pellets. So na pellets na siya daan, tapos gigrind lang siya. Giground lang siya into medyo tibugol, medyo 50-50 ba, medyo pellets, medyo mash. Nara siya sa tunga-tunga. Na ay mga powdery nga parts, o naapoy mga parts nga medyo mga nga, ano lang ba, nga bugto nga pellets. Kana siya. So as I said also, kaning crumble usually, especially sa mga broiler, no, mag-start lang na makita nimo ang crumble pag ang pagkaon na sa inyong broiler is starter or finisher. Crumble. Although naay mga companies nga ilahang finisher nga feeds kay mini pellets. But generally, ang starter o growing ani nga feed type is crumble ang ilang form. So, asa man na ginagamit si crumble? So, sa isad kaganiha, sa chick starter feeds, tayo sa broiler, layer, kana, or even sa quails. Next is for pigs, especially katong pre-starter nila nga feed type, and also booster. And then you also have for young animals with small mouth parts. Okay, like karang mga quails, kana sila, more on sa avian, and yeah, kara. Advantages of crumbling. So first is it is easier to consume than the mash. And compared also to mash, mas less ang abog ni crumble. And it can improve early growth performance. Next is we have pellets. So pellets is kung si crumble ganiha gikan siya sa pellets tapos gi-ground up lang siya para magkupog-kupog. Si pellets daw, they come from mash feeds. Unya, gipausukan na siya, gipa-steam, no, to produce small chunks or cylinders of feed. So, gibali, ang components to create pellets are what? Water from the steam, H2O, and then ang mash feeds. So, powder and then water, para mag-take siya into a specific shape, gipa-steam siya para maging firm, and then that's how you create pellets. So, ingon ani. Mao ni siya tong akong gitawag kaganiha nga vertical mixer, no? Nya naapod siya pelletizer. No, this is actually pelletizer. So, ani ang labas. So, these are, atong yun ako ganyan nga, small chunks. Kani, small chunks. Or, kani, itong very obvious nga, cylinders of feeds. Kana siya. All of which are considered as pellets. Although kani si small chunks, ginatawag ni siya commercially as mini pellets. Okay, so what are the advantages of pelleting? So first is it reduces selective feeding. Like to akong gidiscuss na behavior sa mga broiler o sa mga layers ganiha. So ang tambala na kung mash ang inyong pakaon is wet feeding. If pellets naman, there's no need na ibasa kay ano naman siya, medyo na mix naman siya, no? Tapos dili man siya separated kinaka separate shapes man gyud sila. Yeah, separate shapes and then same sila size tanan. So there's really nothing to select to. That is why ma-reduce iyahang selective feeding. Next is it increases nutrient density. So mas daghan og mga ingredients na makarga ani compared sa mash nga some ingredients are being wasted kay pagtuka pa lang dan sa manok is mga taktak nitong mga powders of mash sa ilalom. So sayang. Next is um, pelleting can actually improve higher digestibility. Also improves feed intake and FCR. And more importantly, it creates less dust and thus less waste. Yan. So next is the disadvantages of pelleting. First is of course when you create pellets, you need a pelletizer, katong machine. Uh, Although na mga manual pelletizer, it could still cost you 1K I think or 900. So it's still costly. Next is it has a higher production cost. Also pellets may crumble if improper ang handling. So kung after ma-pelletize sa pelletizer, tapos gidiretso lang ninyo siya sulod sa bag or diretso lang mag step 6 which is bagging later on. Mag-crumble gina si pellets because first of all, wala ninyo siya napa-cool down after maging pellets and then wala po ninyo siya napauga which is kailangan unta siya because ang ang paghimo sa pellets kagina is steam, right? Steam which is tubig naman na siya tapos kanang taas ang pressure tas init, right? Plus mash nga feeds. So if wala siya na dried, there's a higher tendency na pagkaugma tubuan din siya molds. Unya, kung inana man, ang pellet ninyo maging crumble. Okay. So much for the feed forms, no? Now let's proceed to step 6 after nyo mahimo tong either mash, crumble, or pellets. Unya, inyo na properly cool og dry tong pellets ninyo. Then you can proceed to step 6 which is the bagging. So it is where the finished products are weighed and stored in sacks or bags. So inani itsura. Okay. So I think self-explanatory naman siya. So after ning bagging, diretso na din siya deliver sa puntahay sa waiting area dira sa feed mill or diretso na siya biyahe padto kung asa man na agrivet dira or kanang mga gabligya dira mga retailers kang gabligyag mga feeds na sinako. So dira mo na ilang final destination. Okay. So now let's discuss the basic feed milling equipment and machinery. Basic equipment representative of the typical feed mill. So mo ni usually makita ninyo nga equipments sulod sa isa ka feed mill kung wala pa mo kaadto or kasulod. First is weighing scales, timbangan. Usually dagko ang timbangan ng nadariya. Napay gamay to measure katong mga feed ingredients. But katong mga sinako na to ensure na per sako is 50 kilos gyud ang karga. Well, makita gina siya dito. Next, raw material storage facilities, mhm, and then the grinders and the particle size reducers for feed ingredients. Mga itong paunsa maghimo og crumbles og mash. Okay. So, aside ato, there are also mechanical mixers for raw ingredients or materials. So first is the vertical mixer, horizontal mixer, micro mixer, and we also have the material handling systems and C, bagging machines, and storage for finished products. So if wala pa kay pang-deliveran anang mga nabag ninyo nga feeds, they are expected to be located sa katong storage room sa mga finished products. Kaya basin tomorrow pa i-deliver or next week, ana. So there is still a storage room for finished products aside sa katong mga raw materials kaganiha. So for the handling and storage of feeds, there are factors that could cause deterioration or ang pagkaguba or pagkasira sa feeds or pagka-lower sa quality sa feeds. So first is si moisture, tung tubig. So dapat kung magbutang mo og feeds, dapat dili siya humid ang dili igang ba ang room, and then dapat wala pa tulo ang atop. Tapos ang landing sa tubig ana sa ulan isa sulod kung asa niyo ginastore ang inyong feeds because that could cause deterioration or pagkadaot sa feeds. Next is si temperature. I think it's very self-explanatory man no na si temperature um kung high temperature ang inyong pangsudlan ana is mag-deteriorate ang feed quality pero mag-deteriorate sad kung lower ang temperature kung medyo icy ba karagong sa other countries na, 'di ba? Unya, height, ambient temperature, and relative humidity above 65%. Namo kita ginatawagan na nga high temperature or temperature and relative humidity. So if sa relative humidity, no, moabot siya above 65%, ibig sabihin igang na na. So kita sington ta. So that creates moisture, and that means there is a higher chance na mo flourish or may develop si fungi and even si insects. Labi na nasa karang mga nasa stored na feeds, no? So dapat nalang ti adequate or karang relatively normal na ambient temperature, and then ang relative humidity should be below 65. So normally mga 50 to 60% yun ana. Next is time. Of course, self-explanatory na ning time. Kaya kung mas dugay nga na-store ang feed sa storage area, over time, mag-deteriorate gid ang mga ingredients na nasusulod sa feeds, right? May expire gid na. So, dapat, once you buy your feeds na sinako, you should consume it as soon as possible. Dapat mahurot gid na siya. Kaya kung dili, sayang, basig after 4 days or 5 days ana tingala ka imong pellets na nanay molds, so that is a very typical na scenario. So there are also social economic considerations that you need to know in mixing feeds in your own farm. Okay, so first is the need for mixing. Need ba gid siya? Or pwede ra siya kamoton, pwede ra siya palahon, or need ba siyang machine? Ana. Second is the number of animals being raised. Do you think um need ba mag-mix og feeds kung duha ra ka baktin ang gibuhi? Ana ba? Do you think that's sustainable in the long run. So, you need to consider that. I think not, no? Siguro kung 5 above heads or 10 above nga animals imong gi-raise, especially if hogs or swine, I think hindi naman siguro mo mag-mix na for feeds. But if it's lower than that, medyo sayang sa effort na lang. Third is, of course, the availability and cost of feed ingredients. So, you have to select all the feed materials na inyong gamiton sa pag-formulate og feed ration na dapat available lang sa inyong locality or sa inyong area. And also, the more na mas cheaper inyong gamiton na nga ingredients, the better. But not always, no? Kaya need man natog protein, right? Protein sources to create feeds. Okay? But you also have to know na tanang protein sources nga feed or nga feed ingredients are expensive as hell. Siguro kung ibutang natog si corn, mga for example, 20 ang kilo per kilo, si Cupramil ana, tungtong na siya mga 30-40. So, ana ang difference. So, you have to consider kung more on ano ba ka carbohydrate sources or more on protein sources. Nana lang. And they have to be available in your area. Kay the moment nga i-push ninyo ang isa ka feed material tapos need pa di siya i-order sa Shopee, namot na lang. So, inana siya no. Next is you have to possess acumen or knowledge of animal nutrition principles. So, mo niya kung ingon sa inyo ha class na you need to take note about everything na itong gina-lecture. Although karon, yes, dili ni siya proper lecture because I'm just giving you a video presentation. Kaya di na makaya because last time nga dapat natin klase, naligsan siya sa tong whole day sa defense ninyo, no? Sa thesis outline. But that doesn't excuse you to jot down everything, okay? I'm still, despite being super late, no, I'm still providing you with lecture materials that I think will be very useful to you in the nearest future. So, nana sa inyo kung mutuo mo sa kwa or kung inyong ipang isa puso, no? Kung gusto niyo maging animal nutritionist in the future because nadira ang dakong kwarta sa animal science nga field, go! Take note. Learn about the basics of animal nutrition para in the future, may mo animal nutritionist or technician, ah, kaming advice lang niyo sa farmers, bayad na. Inana lang na siya. Okay, next is the practicality of mixing. So, isipon ninyo class if is it practical na i-mix for 1 hour or 30 minutes ang katong sa kadaghan sa inyong feed materials or feed ingredients na gigamit to create your feed or to formulate your feed ration, no? Tayo, nagbutang mong 3 kubok ng ingredients, tapos need nyo i-mix for I don't know how many minutes. Is it practical? Or pwede ramon ta i-reduce ang feed ingredients and then i-reduce with ang number of minutes na paghalo or pag-mix. So it's up to you. And also, you have to consider if ang kara ba niyong pag-mix, no? Need ba ninyo mo gamit og mechanical mixer? Or kamot lang or pala lang jud. Teamwork lang, manual labor lang. So that's it, class. So these are the 5 considerations that you need to consider when mixing feeds on your own farm. And I think this is the last slide for this presentation. I hope nga nag-take note jud mo class and um I'm really sorry na late king upload aning sa lecture video karon but rest assured na dili pa kani ang final video na akong i-upload. So later on mag-upload pa ko og um, trial and error, how to solve trial and error method sa feed formulation aside sa katong na tudlo na ko sa inyo ha last time tong feed formulation via Pearson square method. So kana na akong last ni na video na i-upload, and then I hope na daghan mong na-learn ani and you study well. Apil day sa coverage class tong anti-nutritional factors to akong discuss sa inyo via Google Meet. So, I'm so sorry if wala mo nakasulat ato or unsa ba. Although, I will be uploading ang PPT ato. Kay wala na ko to na record ang Google Meet last time because ambot wala ko gi-allow sa Google Meet although ako naghimo sa um, link. So, ato lang siya. Good luck sa final exam karong December 11. And ano lang, prayers lang. Okay? So, thank you so much for your time and continue studying and I hope to see you next sem. Bye.